Kathy's in Buffalo, New York. Hi, Kathy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show. What's up?
Hi, I'm a senior in college, and I worked pretty hard throughout college to like save up money for a car and just like an apartment after graduation, and just for food and living expenses. And I had around like $25,000 saved up for my car and just like after graduation. But unfortunately, COVID kind of hit my family hard, and my uncle had to borrow money to pay for my grandpa's hospital bill. Like my grandpa and my dad. And now, like, they're not really giving my money back, if that makes sense, and I don't really know what to do about it.
How old are you?
21.
How old's your uncle?
I don't know, but probably 40,
Yeah.
45.
So this 45-year-old comes to the 21-year-old college kid and says, I can't pay my dad's hospital bill. You need to help. And you gave him your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, your family's a bunch of irresponsible people, aren't they? Yeah, they're broke, and they can't take care of their grandpa, and they come to a kid to take care of them. That's the definition of irresponsible. I'll help you with that. Shouldn't have been a question. Should have been a statement. Okay.
How much money did you give him?
Because hospital bills are like extraordinarily expensive, like $15,000.
Good Lord.
So you give him $15,000, and what was the terms of this?
What was the plan for him to repay you?
Like I said, within like the next year.
Yeah, and he said okay?
Yeah.
Where was he going to get the money?
The thing was, like, my aunt was out of work, just because, like, she lost her job, and then she was going to pay me back, like, once she got a job.
Where's your parents?
My dad's kind of arguing with with his brother, but, like, the two of them are, like, having their own fight about money issues as well.
That's shocking.
Yeah,
oh, kiddo, I'm so sorry. You are in a mess. I just want to box your uncle's ears. And I wish you had stood up and just said no. Don't you?
Yeah, I just didn't want, my grandpa to...
They're not going to repossess your grandpa. It's just a hospital bill. They'll sue somebody for not paying a hospital bill. But they're not going to repossess him. Yeah, you got snookered by your family. Yeah, next time your family knocks on the door, you need to just not open the door. Oh my gosh.
How long ago was this, Kathy?
This happened like maybe a year and a half ago. I guess like a year and a half ago, at the beginning of 2020.
Do you have anything in writing from your uncle?
Yeah, I have like an email.
Okay. Well, it doesn't sound like your father is going to be any help because he's not got influence with your uncle right now because they're already fighting. Am I correct?
Yeah, because like again.
So if you call your uncle and say, this is a mess, and this is gonna cost me going to college. You've got to get this money together. Go to the bank and get it, and send me my money. I've got to have this money. What's he gonna say?
I tried doing that, and then because like the thing is like I tried doing that, and he was just like, you can go into debt. I'll pay you back, I promise. And like because of that, because like that was also supposed to be like partial, because like I pay like $10,000 a year for school because of like financial aid, and then like food and rent on top of that. And then it's just kind of like I kind of had to put my tuition bill, because of that.
What a butthole!
I'm like going to debt.
This guy's a class A.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to make a person that doesn't have character suddenly have character, and your uncle is a scumburger. And you realize that now.
Yeah, I knew that, but I didn't know going into the situation because he wasn't, you know what I mean? I never my parents never really dealt with him financially.
The bad news is at 21 years old, you've had this very harsh lesson. The great news is you will never have to have this lesson again because you will never do something like this again because this has hurt so badly and put you in such a bad position. And so I hope you haven't lost the money permanently, but you probably have because your uncle is scum.
Yeah.
Anybody that would come to a 21-year-old and ask for their college money in order to take care of their grandfather because you didn't go figure out some other way to do it is scum by definition. By definition, because if the worst case scenario is Grandpa, let me tell you, if he'd called me, I just said, Grandpa can't pay his bill. Call the hospital, tell him he can't pay the bill. He didn't have any money. I'd rather owe the hospital money than I would little Kathy. It's just a matter of who we're going to owe, right? So this is just garbage. It's just garbage. Oh my gosh, Kathy. So here's the thing. You have really two courses of action, and none of them are good. I wish I could give you a good answer. Course of action number one is call him back and say, I sure hope you can pay me. I sure hope you do what you said you were going to do. I hope you're a man of honor and a man of your word because you're leaving me in a lurch. And hang up the phone and then have low expectations because he's scum that you ever get this money, and you're probably not going to get it. Okay? Course of action number two is hire a lawyer and sue his butt.
Yeah, I'm kind of too broke for that. I mean,
No, you're not.
I won't be
No, you're not. Lawyer will take this. They'll take it because this looks like fun. I'm telling you, they'll take it for a percentage, and when he collects it out of your uncle's hide, he'll But here's the thing: you'll be done with him forever. But by the way, if he's my uncle, I'm done with him forever anyway. He's not going to speak to you again once you sue him, but I really don't care because he ain't worth speaking to. This guy's a dirtbag.
I agree.
Kathy, he treated you like a doormat because you're a really nice, sweet person, and he thought he could get the money.
Took advantage of a 21-year-old young lady in college. This is making me mad as your adopted uncle. I'm your other uncle, the one that's going to kill this one.
Yeah, it's like really bad because it's like all of my other uncles are like hating this one uncle, and like my mom and dad's also like really pissed off. It's like
you got a mess on your hands.
Dysfunction all over the place.
It's not fair that you have to deal with this. So you have two choices: just lower your expectations and don't expect to get the money, or go whole hog and start throwing grenades with an attorney. That's your two choices. Make your decision and then rest in peace with whichever decision you rest in. Either one's fine with me, and either one will be great. I'm so sorry. George, one of the things we've discovered in studying family businesses is that the family business is never any more or less toxic than the family. It's never any more or less functional or more functional than the family is. A dysfunctional family cannot have a functional family business. The other thing that kind of goes with that, the parallel track for that, is there's a lot of data in our data here over 30 years of doing this, and even in the millionaire research, that indicates that to the extent that your immediate family, husband and wife, and your extended family, uncles, aunts, parents, so on, to the extent that people observe correct and reasonable moral boundaries with each other, to the extent that the marriage is functional, to the extent that the interaction with the grown kids and grandkids is functional, meaning that there's not a bunch of manipulation, lying, drug use, cheating, whatever, running around on it, whatever, all this stuff. To the extent they're functional, there's a high correlation with that and the ability to build wealth. There's a high correlation you can't build wealth in the middle of if your family just puts the fun in dysfunction. I mean, it's just very difficult to do it. And it's kind of been the theme this hour.
Yeah. A lot of dysfunction on all these calls, and what it comes down to is you can't give family money. It just never ends up working out for you. I'd rather you be mad at a lender and Sally Mae sue you than a family member sue you, because that relationship is done. It's hard to recover.
But when you have a money problem of any kind in the family, but husband and wife buying a van, you have a money problem in the family. Uncle wants money to pay grandpa's medical bills. When you have a money problem in the family, it is never the problem. It is always the symptom of something else going on.
Yeah.
And so the very fact that this family system in that last call is set up in a way that a 40-something-year-old man can call a 21-year-old niece who's in college and basically steal her college fund. And in his mind, somehow that's all right. Or it didn't happen this hour, but we've gotten the call before, these parents who take their minor children's identity and go open a bunch of credit cards in them. And then when the minor children gets married as an adult and is 25, 26 years old, discovers that there's a whole bunch of credit card debt that their mom put in their name when they were 14. I mean, that's criminal fraud. Go to jail. Do not pass go. But people do it. And there's this thing that happens in some of our families out there that people make this statement. Well, you have to take care of family. As if that statement makes all of your miscellaneous ridiculousness go away. Like, well, I just can't. I have to take care of mama. You have to take care of family. You just have to take care of family. Whatever it is. I mean, yeah, I understand. He stole 3 cars. He does cocaine. He shot his neighbor. But you have to take care of family, But, people are just ridiculous.
Yeah, at what point does it just become enabling misbehavior?
Yeah, I think.
Mom didn't save up any money her whole life, and now it's our job to take care of her for the next 20 years.
And that's not mean, okay? It's if you want to take care of mom and you're able to take care of mom, that's okay. But this idea that you take this child's college fund, I just want to send out the Ramsey SWAT team for this guy, man.
Which doesn't exist, by the way, America, in case you're wondering.
We could form it pretty quick around here, though.
That's true. But that's just makes you furious to hear stories like that.
So here's the thing, guys. My point of this rant is that if you do not recognize where crazy is in your family, and every family has crazy in it, and if you think yours doesn't, it's you. So if you don't recognize where crazy is in your family and learn to put proper boundaries in place early in your life, and you don't teach, let's say you got a functional family, mom and dad are teaching a 14-year-old who later becomes a 21-year-old, okay, Uncle so-and-so's bad news. Okay, he comes around, just
Stay
run
away.
him off.
Stranger danger.
Okay? Danger. That's right. Stranger. Oh, kindergarten cop
There we
reference.
go.
Good. Yeah, but I mean, you gotta, you have to teach the danger of this. And it's just, oh, man.
Everyone needs to read Henry Cloud's
Until
Boundaries.
you fix your marriage, you're not going to build wealth. Until you set boundaries with your crazy uncle and your deadbeat drug son, you're not going to build wealth. Until you deal with the dysfunction in your family, you're not going to build wealth. You can't get rich enough to not screw it up with these people intersecting your life and you just allowing them free reign because I just got to take care of family. That kind of, it's just,
Do people think that they're being selfish if they don't help? Is that what it comes down to?
It's enabling from now on. And these people, the people on the other side of it, they're travel agents for guilt trips.
Ooh, that's good.
I mean, this guy, he just, Grandpa, you got to take care of your grandpa, you poor old grandpa. Don't you want to take care of your grandpa? You're selfish little college student, aren't you?
Well, it made me think.
Smack you. Unbelievable.
How did we know he even used that on medical bills? Now I'm second-guessing this guy's integrity, going, who knows what that money went towards?
There's a car in the driveway, probably. No, it's a pickup. Oh,
always a pickup, isn't it?
It's always a bass boat. Wouldn't be a ski boat. It'd be a bass boat. Yeah.
You've got the ski boat. That's why you're saying that. Ski boat folk are different.
No, they're not. They're just as bad. Oh, my gosh. I'm telling you, this is just – but here's the thing. You can't outrun this. You have to deal with the family stuff or you're not going to get ahead financially. You're always going to be brought down by the dysfunction until you've dealt with the dysfunction or put a boundary to the dysfunction and a fence around you to where you can work around it. You cannot make enough money to out-earn this. You have to deal with it. So there's a high correlation between the ability to build wealth and good boundaries and functional families. My grandmother used to say, when she was alive, she's in a small town, she would say, so-and-so comes from a good family. Now, certain members of our family would accuse her of being uppity, like she thought that meant that they were country club folk or something instead of the other kind of folk, right? And that wasn't what she was referring to at all. When I got to know her as an adult later, what she meant was they were a good family.
They had integrity.
That's what she meant. And you want to be around a good family. And there are good families. None of them are perfect, but I mean there are some that do a better job at this stuff than others. But oh my gosh, it's almost impossible to some of you have to just become some of you are listening and you're 19 or you're 21. You just have to become an adult and set up your own life because your whole bunch over there is nuts. And you just got to come over here to the side and just look over there and they're like something in a psychology book. Every one of them's got one of those things, I mean, it's like unbelievable. And so some of you just have to do that, and some of you just have to deal with the one crazy mother-in-law, and some of you have to deal with your marriage stuff and not be so dadgum selfish and power hungry and entitled and all those things, which Sharon and I have dealt with coming up on 40 years. And now I've kind of got it down with Sharon, though. I have figured it out, George.
What's the secret?
I told her the other day, if she leaves, I'm going with her.
How'd she take it? She might put out a restraining order at that point. Man.
Don't give her ideas.
Sorry. She's thought of it.
I have her convinced, George.
I'm no genius.
I have her convinced.
Well, here's what it comes down to. You've got to have boundaries, and you can't change people. And so at some point, you've got to just draw the line and say, listen, Uncle, he's just cut off. We just can't be friends with Uncle. You can't be friends with Grandma because it's toxic. And that's a hard thing to do, to cut off family.
And it's not about the money. It's about the fact that you stole from me.
Yes.
It's not the money. The money doesn't matter. It's that you mistreated a 21-year-old college student. You jerk. You unbelievable jerk.
I hope he's listening.
I hope I get that email back.
That'll be a fun one.
Hey, Unc, if you're listening, jump on. I'd love to talk to you. That'll be fun. Not for you.